So she's filthy, but she's mine. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. You know, if you like the video, you like the content, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing to see more of my Mercedes C400 and also the tech stuff that I post from time to time. But as I was saying, welcome back to the vlog guys. We are here in my 2015 Mercedes C400 and I'm finally going to get you guys that review I promised you. I know it's been a little bit, we've had some time with the car. I feel comfortable kind of talking about what I feel like its pros are, what its cons are, and how I'm adjusting to it from the Mustang. But we do have to run some errands, there's some things we're going to check out, so let's get going with this. Alright guys, so some of you may know, some of you may not know. It's been a little bit over 3 months now since I wrecked my 2015 Ford Mustang GT that had the performance package on it. It was a nice car. I mean, it was basically the dream car. It was definitely one of my dream Mustangs. Loved the thing. It was really nice. It had lots of power. Loved driving it around. Had a nice Roush Axleback exhaust on it, so it sounded great. It was just a lot of fun to drive, but you know, it wound up getting in an accident, wound up getting T-boned, and well, it's still at Copart. So that car died. About a month later, I picked this up. And I've been driving it since, so I've got about 2 months in it now, and I've got to say, there is no buyer's remorse, which is really good. Now when I was looking, one of the other things I was considering was maybe like a Kia Forte or something, you know, getting something new that wouldn't cost too much, that I could get a lot of life out of, that have a warranty and stuff. I drive by Kias, and I look at them and I go, I am so glad this is the car I bought. And these are the reasons why. At the top of the list is definitely power. Coming from a car that had 435 horsepower at the crank, you still want something that you can drive in a spirited fashion. Something that still has some get up and go, that can get out of its own way. Unfortunately, most of the cars I was looking at didn't have that. You know, most of them are low 4 cylinders and stuff. They're just not able to put out the sort of power that a 5-liter V8 can. However, this C400 with a 3-liter V6 and twin turbos, you know, it's putting out 333 at the crank, and there's definitely room to improve from there. So it puts down a respectable amount of power, and even though it's not quite the same experience as driving something with a V8, it's definitely enjoyable. And I definitely prefer it over something like a Kia Forte that I was looking at that just did not have the same heart and soul to it. Now, the one thing that the Mercedes has going against it in that regard is the fact that it is a turboed engine, which means that if you don't hit it, you know, while the turbos are spooled up and such, you don't get in that part of the power band, you don't really have power. So sometimes you try to downshift and, you know, it's just not there. If you're going from a stop, then it's pretty great. You know, you get a pretty good pull and you can get going pretty quick. But every now and again, you know, you're trying to get some power to pass somebody or another, and it's not always there. But we're hoping to remediate that a little bit soon when we get this thing tuned up. Most of the tunes say that they help with that, so we'll see. Number 2 would undoubtedly have to be the looks of the car. I want the 2015 Mercedes in particular because both the S-Class and the C-Class had already had their refresh, and the interiors just feel really nice to me. I like the looks, I like how comfortable they are inside, outside. The car just looks great. And you know, when you're coming from something like a Mustang, American built, you get, you know, a German engineered car, and it's just, they're built way different. So everything about it just feels better. Alright, for our first stop, we bought these the other week, and well, they don't fit because they're not the right measurements, even though they say they are. So we've got to see what we can do about that. Alright, easy peasy. We got that taken care of, so we're good. It's kind of a bummer I bought that using my banana card, because now the money's back on my banana card instead of in my bank account. Oh wow. So next on the list, right up there with the power, with the way it's styled and everything, is definitely the handling. And if we're talking about handling, then we've got to go to my favorite road. Alright guys, here we go. This is it. Squaw Peak Road up Provo Canyon. It's nice. There's usually not too many people on it. You've got a lot of nice curves and bends in the road. it just really makes for a nice, fun drive. Going up it is fun, coming back down it is fun. As long as no one's in front of you, you can have a good bit of fun with it. Alright, so we're up here towards the top now. And you know, this is a road that I think I only drove my Mustang up once, maybe twice. And there's some reasons for that. You know, the Mustang had 435 horsepower, was rear wheel drive, and it was a manual. And it took me a long time just to get really comfortable with the manual and with the way it handled. Well, add on top of that, that's only rear wheel drive, and well, also in that part of the season I couldn't even come up here. It just wasn't something that I was really comfortable with until I'd been driving the car for several months. Now, one of the big differences here with the C400 is that it's got all-wheel drive, which is fantastic. Taking turns is great, accelerating is great. One of the things that I had issues with the Mustang is just about from any stop, the tires would spin. It was so bad, literally any stop, trying to get into first gear, tire spin. Now with this one, I have the advantage of it being the four-wheel drive, which is great. I'm loving it. I was not sure if I would like it or not, just because I've driven so many rear-wheel drive cars. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but so far, I love it. I would not change it at all. You know, and then there's the pricing of these cars right now. I paid $21,450 for this car. Right now, you can find these anywhere between 20 and 30 grand, depending on, you know, what options it has, how many miles it has. But, you know, for a car that MSRP on it was between $40,000 and $50,000, it's really a great deal that you're getting. You're getting way more car for, I think, a rather reasonable price than if you did get something like a Kia Forte or something like that, even spec'd out. I mean, mine doesn't have all the bells and whistles. We don't have the cooled seats. Only the driver's seat has the memory and the fancy switches and stuff. You see the passenger seat, we don't have all the fancy stuff, but I mean, we still get the wood inlay. We still have decent sound system. We don't have, you know, we don't have the extra stuff that'd be down here if we had more of the driver assist features. But who cares? I mean, add on top of that you're getting a much more quality interior than you'll get in something like, say, your Kia or, you know, your Toyota Camrys and stuff. Well, actually, I haven't seen the Camrys, so maybe they're nicer than stuff like the Kia, but the Kia had like fake leather in there, and I mean, you knew immediately it was fake leather. This, I'm not sure if this is entirely real or not, but it's really nice. It's good quality. Really like it. I mean, really, when we start looking at it that way, the main downside is that you don't get the warranty. I mean, that's the main downside, but I mean, if you're not really looking for that anyways, then I mean, you're not losing. You're not losing at all. I love this drive so much. It's so much fun. The one car I'd really like to do this drive in, though, is a Porsche GT3. So what would I change? I mean, we're going to tune the car. We're going to do a C63 body kit, most likely. Wrap it, get it blue or something, or maybe even just matte it. But so there are some things I would change. But I mean, if I had to do it again, I would get a C63. The C63 is what I would really like optimally, C63 Coupe. But they don't come in all-wheel drive right now, which to me is just, I don't understand it. And that's pretty much what would keep me from getting one right now, is the fact that it doesn't have the all-wheel drive, and I currently live in Utah, and all-wheel drive is great for winter and everything. So not really sure what to do about that, but things I would change, I will tune it. So we are going to do that. We are going to change up the body style just ever so slightly, not too much. We'll just try to get more of the C63 looks. I like the front end of the C63. I like some of its styling. We're going to add a spoiler and whatnot. But you know, the car as a whole, I can't say I have any negatives for it. So take that as you will. Yeah, that's just kind of my opinion. Also, the gas mileage for everything we just did is so much better than the Mustang. I probably would have used half a tank in the Mustang, and we didn't even use a quarter of a tank in this car. So, you know, we're winning. We're definitely winning. So buyer's remorse? Definitely not. See you guys next time.